We get lots of clients who struggle with balance or claim that they struggle with balance, and they almost give up on the idea of being more stable on one foot compared to the next one, which is not beneficial, because even when you walk, at some point you're going to be loading one foot more than the other one. When you run, when you stop and change direction, things like that, whether that's in everyday life or sport, it is important to be able to stabilize. And a lot of times when people do try and improve balance, they go to something that is way too advanced, which might look beneficial, like being on a wobble board or a Bosu ball, but they're wobbling all over the place, and the brain and body are not necessarily learning to create and coordinate stability. So the other thing that people also do is they will balance on one foot and then they fixate on a particular point. And that is also not beneficial, because number one, even if you can balance on that on one foot and you're fixating, you shut out all your peripheral vision. And so for life or any sport that requires you to be able to scan around you and then be able to make decisions, you've just shut it all out. Even if it's for a short period, that can cause, be an increased risk for injury, but also an increased chance that you're going to lose a certain position or play in sport. So here's a tip that we use to get people started improving their balance, and it's using your head to control the foot that you're balancing on. And so the first thing we're going to do is the foot that we're going to balance on, we're going to imagine a line that goes straight through the middle of your foot from front to back. And our goal is to get your head over that line at some level. You can bend the knee and the hip a little bit and start getting a little bit more advanced, but this is the starting point. We're going to get this head over that line, over the top of that line, and we're going to use that to control the foot. And why that is important is because when we're moving, we basically, even just when we're walking, when we take a step, our head shifts over the front foot, shifts over the front foot. And I'm exaggerating it a little bit, but that's how the body moves. We don't stay in the middle of our feet as we walk, because we'll be unstable, because this weight is shifted off that center line. So what we're going to do, like I said, imagine a line through the middle of your foot, and the first thing we're going to do is just shift your head over that line, and then from there we are just playing around with keeping the head over that line. And as we do so, feeling what the foot feels like, especially at the bottom. It's probably better to do this in socks or barefoot, but we're going to try and stay over that line. And then if we do shift, we get it back as quickly as we can. So I'm focusing more on what my head is doing right now than my foot. And then you can start with shorter periods of time and then increase if you need to or if you want to. The other thing that is important, if it is a little bit advanced to go straight to single foot, we can use the other foot to support us. So if I'm balancing on my left foot, I'm going to use my right foot to support, and I'm going to think of it as a volume switch. So full volume would be complete stability. And then as we wind the volume down closer to zero, it's less and less and less and less foot contact with that opposite foot, where zero would be completely off the ground. So what you want to do is find that threshold where you're still challenging yourself, where you have the foot ready and helping you as much as you need to, or let's say as little as you need to be able to be successful. And then we start bringing that volume down less and less and less and less until we can go over the foot. And obviously it would be the same on the other side. Imagine the line through your foot and then get your head over the line. And then eventually it becomes so much easier when you're doing split stance or single leg exercises. And also we start playing around with a position where we are able to look around and we're not having to fixate, and we can still see what is going on around us because we are using the head through the entire body to control the weight distribution of your foot.